Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, my friends, to Angel Insight. My hair is looking a little crazy. I hope you're having a great day. It's great to be back. I am here with a really beautiful oracle. I'm super excited to share with you. We're going to try to keep this around 30 minutes, just so you know. This oracle is coming in, it's inspired beautifully by this drawing, which is all about citrine. We're talking about natural citrine. We're bringing some wisdom in about the citrine. These messages are for the next 3 months. You know, I love when you share what resonates, what hits home. Please do so. You'll find this exactly when you're guided. This oracle is taking us through mid December. Okay. So we've got some oracle cards here as well. We're really, what I want to begin with is this is actually part one of two. This is the crystal part, and then soon, when guided, I will share the plant part. Okay, so there's three different elements in here. We're talking about fire, we're talking about water, and we're talking about dark matter. Those are the three things that are coming together. What does this mean, Michelle? Well, they're from there. So what was channeled for the fire, because this is how it's coming in. It's coming in as 6 elements, and it's being divided half and half. So for the fire, I channeled explosion. For the water, I channeled rain. And then I even wrote it down. I'm like, why am I getting Scooby Doo? Okay. And you'll see that that actually was really beautiful. I'm going to share that. And then the third was the dark matter. So this is the shadow at hand. And what I got was smoke. Okay. So not much to go on, but I do love that my guides led me in a certain direction. So I knew that this was natural citrine. Okay. A lot of citrine on the market is actually heated up amethyst. So please, when you're holding a piece of citrine, go within, ask, is this real citrine? Okay. Because you're really not going to have a problem. But this is a great way to start connecting with your crystals. Okay. Now, citrine is coming up to grid. We're going to cover a lot over this next 30 minutes. I'm super excited. Where we are, the inspiration for this oracle is from the Ural Mountains. So the Ural Mountains, if you're not familiar, are actually considered the oldest mountains in the world, actually. And they naturally create a barrier between Europe and Asia. And important for this oracle and the messages coming through, between Russia and Siberia. Okay. So when in the Ural Mountains, in between that area between Siberia and Russia, is one of 3 natural citrine sites throughout the world. I think it's 3. But this came up in a beautiful way to speak more of the oracle. Okay. So what I mean by that is got this information and I didn't know where to start. So I knew I was in the Ural Mountains and I wanted to start with an explosion. So I go to my trusty friend of Google and work with my guides and my intuition. And wouldn't you know it, I stumble upon one of the largest explosions actually on Earth to date. It happened in 1908, and it happened in an area in the Ural Mountains. I was like, okay, this is totally cool. This explosion was so big, my friends. You can Google it. It was so big that the surge in itself knocked people off their feet hundreds of kilometers and miles away, shattered windows hundreds of miles away. So let me tell you about this explosion in 1908. Nobody really knows. It's a huge mystery. They don't really know what causes it, although there is a lot of suspicion that it was like a meteorite that exploded before it hit the surface, because there's no crater. Okay. And in fact, until just recently, to believe it or not, there is not much evidence of what happened, except that there is this huge burn circle, huge explosion, huge amount of people experienced it. Let me know you're here. Give me a like when you come in. Please let me know you're here. I want to connect with you. Put it in the chat. Huge explosion and lots of trees. Okay, so it's very remote. And it was a very difficult place to get to. Okay, but this came in for purpose. So I was like, okay, so we have this explosion, and I work with my guides, and I was like, okay, so I was kind of getting some of this information together to present for you. So this is what's really super cool is in order for natural citrine, okay, to be created, it has to be certain conditions. Okay, this is true for all crystals, plants, everything, right? Animals. It's all about the ecosystem. So it needs to, in this case, have a hyperthermal area, and so these actually, what we're focusing on is the citrine from the Ural Mountains created as a side effect to this explosion. What's up, ladies? I'm so happy you're here. Okay. So that's kind of explaining this explosion. Okay. Now, the other element that came in that's really important to understand is the water element. Okay. Now, I was like, Scooby Doo, what? So, Scooby Doo came in for a couple of reasons. First of all, I am not you may not be able to tell, but I am not the artist of all artists. So it took a lot of time to work on this. And I have to tell you, it's really kept me in the present moment. I really enjoy the challenge. So I was literally being taught how to draw rain. Okay. But there is purpose of it going from right to left. Okay. So, synchronistically, again, what's really kind of cool is I didn't know where to start. So I was like, Scooby Doo rain. And who knew that, believe it or not, there are only 4 episodes of Scooby Doo that have ever had rain. So I was like, okay, I go in with my team and I'm led to season 3, episode 2. And this is all about the tangle in the Bermuda Triangle. So, this all speaks, my friends. We're talking about how we're at a time where we can step into our authenticity. We're talking about grace today. We're talking about gratitude. We're talking about fire and water and bringing it in balance. And what we're doing and what we're balancing and what we're fighting for is to resist the explosions. Now, when you dig a little deeper into this story, and then we'll go into the oracle, what a lot of people don't know, what I didn't know, is you may have heard that people were exiled, right? People were exiled to Siberia. Now, when you start to look, and I'm paraphrasing, we're just jumping into this. You can Google for yourself. There's all kinds of historical information across the net. But you may not have realized when you were exiled to Siberia, it was literally a 3-year migration through the mountains, chained. It is considered to be today one of the most barbaric experiences, and so inhumane. So I want you to think about that. Those of you that are empaths, those of you, of course, that find here, and about how these things that happen now. And I will tell you, with every system where there's no judgment here, right? We're just trying to understand. But what started out as something as a policy for government, which was really barbaric, you will find potentially became taken advantage of, like most systems, when there's separation. So all of a sudden you're seeing people exiled to Siberia, potentially just because they talk back as a peasant. They didn't, do you see what I'm saying? So it's like the punishment started to not fit the crime, if you will. Now, once you migrated through the mountains and you were beaten and you were, I mean, it is pretty disgusting, to be honest, what happened to most of these people. Once you reach Siberia, this was where you were to live. You were never to return back to your family, back to your homeland, back to all that you knew. Okay. And this energy is coming in a lot of ways because what we're really focusing on with this explosive potentially behaviors. Okay, this actually comes in and hits us in many different ways. Okay, um, is we're finally able to go through the cleansing. We're finally able to step into this is a really kind of a timed thing, and it's really important for those of you that find this to really trust and hone in on your intuition, to hone in on your gut feeling, right? Because basically what my team has shown me is this explosion came in to activate this citrine. So what? So that it could cleanse the land and even deeper what's coming into because there's a lot being cleansed in our ancestry right now. There's huge ancestral knots being removed. So there's relief coming in. Be your authentic you. Don't judge the things. This hits home for me because I am very aware and I've been vulnerable many times that I am surprised at when I look back at the times of some volatility. And I've even, been known to say to my kids, like, don't push me. I don't know if I can get back. Okay. And there's so much attached to that shame, guilt. I mean, let's go, right? There's so much shadow. So we are really kind of honing in on this energy and we're going to look at it. Okay. Because this is the incoming energy. We're changing the script, we're rewriting the story. So let's go. Let's go in and get the messages that come with this. I'm super excited to do this with you. Okay, so I shared the three elements. Oh, Scooby Doo. When I started to post it yesterday, I was like, oh my God, it was like a eureka. Like, that, like, I should have had a V8. It was like, ding. So I immediately envisioned in my mind's eye Wayne's World. I don't know if you're a fan, super fan here. Love Wayne's World. I'm from Aurora, which is kind of a joke because it wasn't really filmed there. But anyway, they have and are very well known for their doodaloo, 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 Scooby Doo vision and what that is in the movie. Don't you love how this all comes in? Is the Scooby Doo doodaloo 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 was a redo. So it was creating alternate endings. And we have the opportunity, full blown goosebumps, to create a new ending, to create and to spark our creation process. Okay. And this is about being bold and confident and moving in the direction of the passion that is underlying and allowing that flame to build. Holy moly, I am feeling it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's look at the crystals first. Okay. So I did a couple of pre shuffles as usual. And what came up that wants to be seen is this crassicola. Now, I love that this wants to be seen because I've been getting a lot of different inferences related to the lion. So, crassicola is part of my rosary structure. Now, I'm not going to jump into everything right now, okay? But I am what I call a tuner. So I transmute energies using music, but it's also powered with the power of the blueprints of the crystals and the plants, okay? So basically, I believe it's a new healing modality. So if you're interested or being led, just ask, am I a tuner? Watch for upcoming classes for that so that you can become a tuner as well. Okay. So it's kind of like a new healing modality like Reiki, which is pretty awesome, pretty badass, I must say. Okay. So crassicola goes with parsley, and I came across this in my awakening related to the lion. Now, the lion comes up, and I want you to think of the lion and the wound, right? The thorn in the paw. And all I can do is focus on the wound. So, what we're talking about is we're talking about incoming energy that wants to break up the lie on the delusional trickster energies that are really developed from the wound. Okay. And my guides really wanted me to mention a couple things when we're talking about the incoming energy. We're highlighting gratitude. Okay. We're highlighting the aspect that our ancestors who went through these barbaric events, first of all, that these are not tolerable. Okay. In most societies. Okay. Um, Number one, and to be grateful for the wounds, that be grateful for what our ancestors went through so that we can be in this current condition. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, so that, yeah, the crystals, they want to highlight gratitude, but also my guides wanted me to share that we're here to break up narcissistic tendencies. Okay. This energy is to break up narcissistic tendencies. And my team was also really wanting to make sure that we look at narcissistic tendencies not in the framework that most of us think of, okay? Because most people think that narcissists are just full of themselves, and this is how it comes across. But my friends, it is because they are focused on the wound. They're only hyper focused on the wound, okay? And so the crystals are coming in to break that up. All right. Specifically, citrine. Specifically, citrine. So let's go ahead and see, what are we bringing in? What are these energies coming in? What is the surrounding energies? What can we expect? So we're going to do 6 shuffles here, but remember to listen to your intuition. Remember that this is about, when we're focusing on gratitude, there are 2 things that you want to think about. How can we collaborate with others? Okay. And with the crystals, how can we collaborate with this message? How can we collaborate with our intuition? How can we collaborate with our team? Okay. Number one. And number two, how can we integrate? How can we integrate what's learned? How can we take that wisdom? How can we capture it and hold on to that? Okay. So that we can ultimately rewrite the story. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. All right, let's go. So, man, it's like the champagne is popping. This is an ending. This is an ending, and it's so important for those of you that found yourself here. You were brought here. Again, I have full goosebumps because because it's like most of us don't even believe that this can happen. It seems unimaginable. It seems like, huh? But your guides brought you here. What up, KK? You're a Scooby Doo. Bring on the Scooby Doo snacks. Yeah, right? I love that. So we're popping the champagne. This is an ending. We need to really remember remember to integrate this new structure, to allow this cleansing, to follow the steps, okay? To follow the steps. And for some of you, you're not going to have clarity. Some of you, you're not going to really understand. There's going to be a gut feeling, like for some energies that you're going to collaborate with, potentially some healings, potentially maybe going to a new retreat or immersion. Because I'm doing another one. I put some details. It's not fully announced, but it's going to be happening in mid-December in the Chicagoland area. So maybe you're meant to collaborate and come. We'll see. It's all about, here we go, this energy. Okay, incoming energy. So the first one is believe that this is an ending. Integrate this new structure. Okay. The next clue is really allow renewal. Okay. There's so many retrogrades. We're capturing so many different things. Okay. And it's like the stars give us an idea, but it's time for us to step even beyond. So this opal, I love this because we have the energy of the heat and we have the energy of the water and how they can come into balance instead of, and it is opal expands and contracts based on heat and cold. So in moments of expansion, it kind of swells, it kind of grows, right? And in moments where it's iced, it shrinks. So we're really kind of focusing, and I love how this keeping yourself heart centered, allow the renewal, the structure of healing, allow yourself to be guided, okay, and to be renewed in these energies over these next 3 months. Okay, I want to remind you, next 3 months. Okay, this is number 3. Yeah. Remember to straighten out your crown. Okay, be grateful that you see the wisdom. Be grateful that you understand more about your behavior and your interactions with others. Okay, because this explosive energy is really all about your relationships. It's affected your relationships, your work, and it's like many of you think that you've done something wrong. Okay, and I'm here to tell you, you haven't. You are just so sensitive that you've been in tune to the emotions of your ancestry, and in a lot of ways, it's come up through you to be released. So know that maybe for some of you, there's this overdrive energy. You're like, I don't know if I can climb this mountain. I'm going to remind you that our spark is going to allow us to traverse through. Okay? So don't worry about what's in front of you. You have everything you need to capture. Hey girl, what's up, Deb? No, we're just getting into it, babe. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. You can go back and rewatch some of the beginning. I was just introducing how this all came to be, right? Okay. Yes. Those of you that are here, okay, many of you are very heart-centered. In fact, that might be your dominant chakra, okay? And I'm not surprised to see this because many of you are actually grid workers, those who allow, like through your energy, through you allow light to come in for the greater good of all. Okay, so this is some of it. Now your third eye is open. Charite is something. It goes with gosh, I'm trying to think. I can't remember what it pairs with, and that's okay because we're talking about the incoming energies. But it's like you already have, giftings. You're spiritually awakened, and this is an expansion. So the message here is to be heart centered, to really focus on that gratitude, so that we can get that champagne, so we can get this ending. Okay, and it's like with. I am hearing a song right now with this energy, and it's like, you're halfway there. Wow, living out a prayer. And it's like that prayer is taking you far, right? It's taking you far. Trust your guidance. Trust that you are protected. Trust in the steps, because this has been really kind of confusing and ambiguous for many. Okay. All right. This is the 5th. This is all about evolution, the evolution of your emotional body, which is the quality of your divine feminine energy. So let's go back real quick. What are we talking about? This is showing a masculine, authentic energy. Many of our divine feminine energies, the emotional quality. This is representing the Bermuda Triangle, my friends, okay? And it's like, if you think of the Bermuda Triangle, it makes you kind of think of something that's stark and black, the void. Um, all the places where, things are created. And it's like in a lot of ways that the Morganite is talking about the emotions being able to ride through, and you are more authentic, and it's like the tidal waves don't grab you and sink you under. Okay, so high five, let's go. It's taken a lot to get there, hasn't it? Oh my gosh, it's taken so much. Okay, so the crystals are talking about the incoming energy. Be that emotional mastery, focusing on gratitude at this time, okay? Because your energy goes where your focus flows. I said that backwards, but that's what I heard. Your energy goes where your focus flows, okay? So if you're focused on the emotions, what do you think you're gonna get? And there's no wrong way. These energies are here for the next 3 months, okay? So you're gonna find your way. All right, this is an amplified time. And of course, the crystals have a message to grid. So I love that we're being shown this. I'm gonna lift up my camera. You can't really see it. I'm gonna share it on my page. But right behind me, oh, in my head, I can't do it. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Okay, you see Quan Lin? There you go. Do you see that yellow in the background? That is my citrine grid, okay? And all you need to grid are 6 clear crystal quartz. Get yourself a piece of selenite and a piece of citrine for the center. Now, I will go ahead and tell you, because my guides wanted me to share the recipe of the grid. You get 6 points, okay? 6 crystal points. You can get them at any crystal store. And I was guided, and I meant to pay it forward, to point your points outward. So you have selenite, citrine in the middle, and then you have 6 crystal points going outward, okay? And then you have to activate your grid. So you take another crystal point, so you need 7 points altogether, and you go to the left and you activate your crystal grid, and you set the intention to help break the wounds from your ancestry, okay? And you can ask your angels to keep this grid. I double checked on this information. You can set the intention. So this is what I said. I'll just model it. It's my purest intention, angels of the highest light, to activate this citrine grid for the highest good of all who come in contact, to break up the wounds within my ancestry. Please place this grid in the crystalline grid of the earth, on the best universe, where the light has won, and keep it, it's my honey, keep it cleansed, cleared, charged, and activated at all times. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay? This is collaboration with the tools of the all. All right? And so remember, the crystals will always assist you with energies that are incoming. The plants always help with the energies that are leaving our vessel. Okay? And this is how they come together. So, all right. So that's our amplifier, right? Our card that we're focusing on, though, is Danbarite. I love the 6s. The 6s are coming in big. Okay. I could feel the 6. They came in this reading. We're really focused on, whenever I see 6s, we are focused on gratitude. We are focused on grace. We are focused on unconditional love for self and for others. Now, some of us, remember, we talk about, there's this, pendulum of how these energies affect us, different perspectives. And those who are more in the emotional mastery, if you've already kind of got that feather in your cap, You need to hold that space and to model that behavior for others. And you need to understand that not everybody is at that same place. Okay. And to be grateful, because the crystals are reminding us to be grateful, and to be grateful that you have learned that particular lesson. Okay, because some people are going to go through that, they're going to capture that over the next 3 months, but some of you already have captured that. And what we're talking about here with this danbarite right away, and when I look here in the center of this mandala, and when I put together all the things that we're doing in this oracle, this is really talking about the crystals. The incoming energy is coming in to help with that dark matter element, the smoke, okay? And the smoke, you think about smoke. When you're immersed in smoke, it's blinding, it's irritating, it creates you to cough, okay? So it can create, a very dangerous situation, actually. So what I'm getting here is a transformation of the web, the dark web. What's underneath these energies, right? Remember, we talked about the barbaric conditions that some of our ancestors have had? This is the underlying dark web, if you will. The basically the dreaming of our society, the tapestry of our society with the lies on. Okay, so it's like we've learned from this, my friends. We've learned from it, but it's time to pay respect for those who have gone forward, right? It's time to pay respect, but it's also time to get the alchemy, to capture the alchemy, to allow the transformation, and to realize that when we have this deep cleansing, we can leap forward and we create a tapestry based on the alchemy. Wow. Okay. Thank you to the crystals. All right. Let's go ahead and move to the animal spirit oracle wants to come forward. This is a representation of your dragon. Your dragon is what? For me, when you're here, when I say dragon, we're talking about your divine feminine energy. Now, think about there's all kinds of dragons. They can blow fire, they can blow ice, they can blow, anything. It's unlimited. But we're talking about your creative spark. Okay, we're talking about your creator, your creator within you. Okay, so when we're talking about this, the animals, first of all, they want to talk to you today about being authentic. They want to talk to you about the grace, because it is the grace and your authenticity that allows this explosive volatility based on our ancestry, based on conditions that have been repeated, especially for your old ancient souls. Man, it has been a challenge, okay? But this is the time to claim the wisdom, to see the balance, to work with the power of the all to assist you, okay? So the animals want to remind you of that grace. And we were sharing about the fire, but it's great to wield fire. Okay, it's great to use that element, of course, but think about everything in balance. So, when that is explosive, when those energies are explosive, it really takes us off track. So, the message the animals are bringing in today, first of all, is letting you know that this is all coming in at this moment. These energies are coming in and pouring in because it's allowing us to remove the explosion, okay, that was really catalyzed by this trauma in our ancestry. And it's really confusing to you sensitives. Knuckles, hello. Hello, I am teaching that community that because this really affects us and it is not flippin' easy. So thank you for all the work that you do. I see you, I feel you, I know you. We got this. We got this. Okay. We are those emotional masters here to help to capture the alchemy so that we can step forward, many of you, on your mission, so that we can start movement, so we can traverse through. Because in a lot of ways, it's like, why is this not happening to me? I'm doing this. Like, why am I not growing in my spiritual business? Many of you know I haven't been on here much, and that's because I've been doing so much sacred work, so much learning about my mission. But it comes from this alchemy. It comes from integrating and, going through that transformation process. So the animals want to remind you this is not something you chose. This was a catalyst based on the trauma. We have not been good to each other, my friends. Look what happens just in the presidential debate. That is nothing compared to some of the barbaric experiences. And we're keeping that focus on the rural mountains, that exile to Siberia. Like, it can be a lot worse, my friends. Okay. Trust me. All right. So right now we have a couple animals, and I'm going to take just a moment. We have the viper, we have the bar-headed goose. So we're just going to take a moment. It's really quick. If you haven't catch those oracles, you might want to catch them. They can help you to expand. Okay. The viper just came through, and that energy is with us through mid-November. So that's for some of you if you haven't caught it. And the bar-headed goose is coming back from earlier in the year. Okay, so these messages I've shared, but let's take a moment because I know I am a catalyst myself. Let's go ahead and take a moment to invoke those animals. So it is my purest intention, angels of the highest light, to invoke the bar-headed goose and the viper for those who find themselves here, and we invoke them for the highest good because they come in to work with you, to help you navigate, okay, to guide you. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this oracle. We start with the wolf. Many of you feel like the lone wolf. That is the energy that we're starting with. It is very important that you understand your guides want me to make sure that you know you are not cast out, you are not alienated, but you have been on a solo journey. And that's because you have been in search of your mission and your crew to make it happen. And then I heard it's like the itsy bitsy spider. Okay. And I want you to think of that spider as your creation. Okay. These are coming in as symbols and with their wisdom. So here's the message, right? Think of the itsy bitsy spider. The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Okay? That's the ancestral wound, the wounding, the focus on the wound. But out came the sun, the citrine, and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider crawled up the spout again, rewriting the story, no longer focused on the wounding. So beautiful. So beautiful. Let's see what they want to tell us. What we're focusing on here with the animals is grace. The crystals wanted us to tell us about the gratitude of what's incoming. The animals want to tell us about the grace for what we are already experiencing. So the crow reminds you, you can traverse through. You can, many of you, I mean, oh gosh, many of you you're on different timelines you traverse through. Some of you don't understand this, but you're working on, the past, present, and future all at the same time. And as you're doing that, you're capturing different things. You're grabbing onto these illuminations, okay? These illuminations. For me, and for maybe some of you might be seeing these portals because I was also getting the portal. This is a lot in my work that we're closing these portals of these trauma. We're closing these events. We're bringing in the rain. We're bringing in the cleansing so that they can no longer play out. Because why? Because really, my friends, we've learned beyond those lessons. And in so many ways in our modern society, okay, I'm soapbox moment. I'm not going to go too far because I'm supposed to keep my timing, which I'm already over, but actually not too much. Okay, um, it's like we trivialize. I know I can for sure. Like, I lost my car in the flood. I shared I got stuck in a flood, and my car is still not working. And yeah, that it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same point in time, I feel so grateful that that it wasn't worse. Okay, because I know for some of you that shared, unfortunately, some people lost their life in that flash flooding we had, and that wasn't me. So it's all about putting things in perspective. Okay, putting things in perspective. Really kind of like look at this energy of the sea serpent. It's like carve out your own space. Don't allow the emotions. Don't allow the emotions. I love this. I'm Greek. The evil eye. I see it right here. Know you're protected. Know that this is a carved out space for you. And if you're new here, it's always carved out for you. Okay. I'm a shadow alchemist. That is my forte. And you betcha, if you are sensitive, when as soon as you come in this space, it is always a sacred space. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I think just to remind, um, you know, um, this is not a fad for me. I am a spiritual teacher. I am a shadow alchemist. I have walked the fire, right? This is not just something we do. And so when I create this space to teach and to share the oracle and to share truths, it is in a space where you're not going to pick up other residues. Okay. Indeed, perspective and concepts. Yeah. Lucky lady. That's right. And I still hope we can bring that car back. It's still in the driveway. I'm hoping for a miracle. The story isn't over. Okay. The firefly is here to tell you, and I love the spark of the yellow. Okay. I love the citrine, and it's like the conditions. What's different about the natural citrine compared to some that you see, it has a really rich tea color. And this is because it's been immersed in those hot emotions. I mean, think about when you brew your tea. The conditions are, created from these emotions. And this firefly is reminding us that this is a collective activation. So we're collectively shining our light, helping each other on our way. You feel that you were alone, but you feel, because that's all you see. It's like, I feel my spark in the dark. I know what I'm doing, but I want here to tell you that you're not doing it alone. It's collectively happening. Okay? It's collectively happening. The cheetah is telling us this is fast moving energy, and as we see this energy, right, as we see these energies really coming in, look at the colors: the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus. This is the energies that we're healing from the ancestry. Okay, these are considered the lower dimensions. Okay, and I don't want to create any hierarchy because they work together. They're a communication system. But these particular chakras are like the rising sun. And it's like, this is coming in whether you like it or not. Bless you, sweetie. It's coming in whether you like it or not. Allow color. Don't be in the hierarchy of separation. And that's talking about judgment. We're talking about grace here. How the animals are reminding you this is fast moving energy, wisdom that you can capture. Bring the color in, allow the communication of grace means not judging, not judging, not looking at the spots created, those spots. This is that ancestry, those hard moments that you've endured in your life, in your ancestry, in your past lives. It's cumulative when we're talking shadows, friends. Okay? It's cumulative. So this is fast moving energy. And don't worry, the cheetah, Like, we're seeing the cheetah in movement there, but the cheetah, they wear the war paint of the tears. Allow the tears. Some of you are just gonna, like I am getting, some of you will just cry and be like, "Why am I crying?" Okay? Allow it to come up, because when it comes up, it can be released. If we shut it down and we resist, it persists, right? Okay? And it's like, if we shut it down, it's and I don't, there's no judgment. If you shut it down, you shut it down. The energy will come back, but this is ideal. This is collective. This is for all of us to move beyond. Okay? And you've specifically been led here. There's that itsy bitsy, not so itsy bitsy, but this is the itsy bitsy spider. Look at this, back to back. Look at this colors. Do you see it? One is like, has the appearance, it's like that cheetah is running past energies that are trying to pull you through. Oh God, this is so beautiful. And this tarantula is like, no, I'm going to create a web so that it can't be pulled through. I'm going to use my creation, okay, based on my insights, based on my intuition. And if you're working with anybody out there and they're not telling you to trust you, please don't work with that person. Please. Please. Because that is not what it's about. Now, we don't heal on our own. We do need to work in collaboration, okay? And you can be assisted with the heavy lifting. But if somebody is telling you, don't trust your instincts, don't listen to your voice, those of you that find it here, I'm telling you, those are those old energies. Those are those fears. That's that narrative based on the trauma, based on the wound. Okay? So we really want to use those energies to push through. I love how this is coming in. Thank you to the animals. This is so beautiful for so many reasons, because when I was geographically being shown, there were, it's like there's a process, okay, that all of this comes in, and it's so fun and awesome for me. I love the research. But this swan, number one is, look at this mirrored effect, right? And it's like, how can we capture the wisdom from the emotions? How can we see the mirror? How can we see the reflection in others, right? Because that helps us to push through, right? But at the same point in time, and I love how we have, the blue in the background and the yellow. I love this, okay? Because it's not about, and here, the animals, I'm supposed to share the song Fight Song. I'm going to be using that to tune the energies. We said the sacred space. Actually, you're actually getting healing just by being in this space. Okay, I'm not tuning my horn. That's just what I do. And it was really confusing for a long time. But I finally understand. And so we'll be tuning to Fight Song. And that song, do you know it? This is my fight song, right? I'm a small boat in an ocean. It's like I've got one match and I can create an explosion. So this song is reminding you that all of us have the ability to create this explosion. And those are based on the delusions of the past, my friends. Okay? We can get past it. That explosive energy comes so that you pay attention. What can I learn from this? Right? What can I learn from this? So let's be the swan. Get your swan song. And I love this because this is actually the imagery. The swan is really beautiful. Google it. Ural Mountains and the Swan. I'm going to share it over these next 3 months because this energy is going to be with us. We're going to have reminders. Okay? Okay, I think this is the sixth one. I kind of lost count. Double confirmation, my friend, about this transformation of the spider. Holy moly, are you seeing it? The spider came up to show us the tarantula came up to show us, hey, how about we take and we create a new web? Do you see the literal transformation of the spider? I want to read this real quick, please. I know there's a message here for all of us. Here we go. The creator of prosperity through life's work, Dharma. The spider is the ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of Dharma into its vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. This is an important card. This is why you were brought here, my friends. This is why you were brought here. It is so beautiful. It's hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. It just keeps weaving. But it's the quality of the web that we're talking about here. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere, but, be process-oriented rather than result-oriented. And soar your work becomes like the weaving of the magical priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. Gorgeous. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When it's out of balance, you're feeling discouraged, tired, forlorn. So if you want to bring it into balance, playful creativity. And I can tell you, my guides, they're bringing that to me. What do you think this drawing came from? Okay, so it comes in many different forms. I just had to read that because, man, that was so beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see how we can get our dragon to fly, how we can align to what? So that we can align to our authenticity, so that we can allow the shadows to disperse, okay? And that we can use the guidance of our angels. They hang on your back wings. They're there to protect you and to help you get flight. It is not until the dragonfly steps into the sun that it becomes aware of its opulence. The animals, I just got full goosebumps actually when I pulled this. Keep a listen, the sonar. It's like, this is really hitting me hard because I feel like I've been in hermit mode forever, right? And it's like the bat signal, it's like, it's out there. It's time to get on the move. It's time to allow your superhero skills to come into form. And how did you develop those, my friends? It's from overcoming your shadow in the first place. It all works together. But it's time to root this in. Look at these colors. We can't get away from them. Do you see the web? So it's like that web the spider was weaving is what allows us to take flight. It allows us, look at those ears, right? So just really trust that spark, that firefly. Man, the animals are in here. Thanks, guys. Like, they are really bringing in some strong messages. I hope they're resonating. Because the animals were here to guide us on the redo. Okay? So it's like many of you, I know myself, are feeling frustrated. And you feel like you're doing something wrong. But really, you are so sensitive. You pick up on everything. And it's like until we were able to re-web, to take the smoke, how can you have vision when that smoke is choking you out, right? And remember, that's the dark element, the smoke. And the smoke came from what? The explosive energies, which came from what? The underlying trauma. So allow the alchemy. Allow the alchemy. Okay? All right, we have an activation, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, I didn't stick to my half an hour, but I think I'm not gonna I'm not gonna limit myself, right, friends? I'm feeling it. You feeling it? Okay. So we have an activation at hand and pre-shuffled, and absolutely the karmic board clearing is here. We have energetic clearing, rewriting of the story. It's time to live your truth. It's time to live your truth. So let's go ahead. We're just going to do one shuffle. This gives us a little information, and look at that. A Gaia Gateway activation. Now, this is my opportunity to tell you. I shared this with my friend Trish yesterday, and also I actually, in collaboration with Jackie, who I'll be doing the next immersion with, 5500 on the clock. Okay, I love that. That feels really synchronistic. If you're seeing fives everywhere, you're ready for the shift. Think about Chicago, December 13, 14, 15. We will be doing our immersion together, Jackie and I. And I am a shadow alchemist, and she helps integrate, she helps people land. But look at the energy here. And what I wanted to share is the earth doesn't want to be called Gaia. The earth doesn't want to be called, the earth wants to be called Earth. So you go in and see. You go in and see with your guides, and or talk to the earth. What do you want to be called? Because I was told straight up, wants to be called Earth. Okay? Because the earth is also going through the transformation, my friends. That's what we're bringing here. Did you see the explosion? That happened to Earth. The largest explosion happened to man. That happened to Earth, which created the citrine to become into being. Do you see what I'm saying? So the earth is healing on its own. I do have to say, I love a lot of synchronicities here on this card. I love that we're being shown this mountain, okay? We're talking about the Ural Mountains. We're talking about traversing through. We're not talking about going over, okay? We talked about 3 years migration. We're talking about traversing through. All right. So I love that. Let's see what is our activation, and then we can get a move on. And then I will be coming forward soon with another intuitive drawing oracle based on the energy of the plant medicine, and it's going to be about willow. So that'll be coming up in the next couple days. Merkaba activation here totally makes sense. We are aligning with our authentic masculine energies. Okay, we have the choice to no longer be caught in the lion energy, the narcissistic tendencies of focusing on the wound. We have the authentic masculine, and here we see source coming through, your authentic energies coming through. Okay, we can't mention that enough. So you're rising up. This is part of your ascension process, but the activation at hand, look at this card, is the Venusian Galactic Council. Star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Now look at, I'm sorry, it's like so shiny. Look at this. And do you see? And right away, as I'm holding this card, the very first imagery I had immediately in my mind's eye was that firefly, that collective spark. Look at these energies. We definitely are focusing on those lower chakras, but what are we focusing in? Bringing them into balance. Because as we ascend up through our communication system, what we receive, and based on your gifting, for those of you that have the gift of sight, like I have some sight, it's not as clear as some of you, but I still am aware that I can't necessarily just trust the sight, because there could be a muck of things out of balance underneath. But we are doing this collective root chakra. We are incoming are these energies that are no longer, think of the tangle in the Bermuda Triangle. Think about the things that go missing in Bermuda Triangle. This is no longer going to be your experience. You have to have faith. You have to hold the space. You need to understand the activation. So let's read the activation because there's something more in here. We want to collaborate with this author. The Venetian Galactic Council automatically takes me to that sacral. Um, when this is the planet Venus speaks on a larger cosmic scale about the divine feminine energy. And if you look at and have learned anything about how man has come to be, it is assumed and taught that the Venetian angelic community taught humans, okay, taught them how to become part of the next angelic, if you will. Okay, I'm not going to go down that road, but some of you, this is coming up for purpose as everything. I'm going to guide you if that's an interest, if you want to learn more about what I'm sharing. Definitely go within first, but I will recommend Gigi Young. She's very good. She has lectures that teach about the different timelines. Okay. But anyway, in this, as an ancestral worker, as a shadow alchemist, I can tell you that Gigi, I might even share the particular thing that I learned from her is this created some animosity between some of the energies that were here because the humans then had a different ascension process than the others. And so anyway, there became this competition, and this is when many say that some of the angels fell. Okay. So if you're interested in that, I want you to check out Gigi Young. Okay. Because she's really good at helping you learn a little bit more about that part in our history. Right. And it's important to be familiar with our history. Let's get off just Facebook and YouTube and scrolling, and let's get familiar with our history. Because if we don't know where we've been, how do we understand where we can go? Right? Especially you sensitives, I just cannot repeat it enough that you are picking up on energies for purpose. That sensitivity, my friends, has such purpose. Yes, you've been watching. I love her too. She is such a great, and my guides have told me everything that Gigi teaches is for me. Go within and ask yourself. So she helps us. She has helped me immensely understand because I've done a lot of work in those floor lower chakras, and it coordinates with the planet. Everything is a different way of teaching. There are different schools of teaching. The school of planetary teaching is really the same teaching of our chakras. They're communication devices. And since we're speaking of guidance from guides, my guides said, stop focusing on the planets. Now, you can collect the information and get familiar with the architect, but we are moving in a time where we are not limited. So it's really important to not limit ourselves on the teachings of the past because we are the generation that is going to have new modalities, new teachings, new ways so that we can expand into places we have never been before as a collective. Can you feel my passion? Can you get on this bandwagon? But it makes sense that we have to undo the knots of the past in order to re-stitch, reformulate, reformat all the re's. Think of those, okay? Because that is huge. That is huge right now. All right, let's get familiar. I know, I'm over. I'm over. We're almost done though. Final thoughts. Activation at hand. Venetian Galactic Guide Council. Star beings. Answer the call. It's time to shine. The Venetians are advanced cosmic beings similar to angels who came from the planet Venus. They are a starry ancestors and are dedicated to helping us experience and embody divine love. There are millions of them. And many of us will have them working with us as guides. If you feel drawn to this information, connect to your star people. I've been talking about this. I actually have a sacred space of star family, and we're kind of like going back and forth undoing this web. Okay. That has been part of my experience. And like I said, you want more information, go to Gigi Young. Okay. And she might spark you. But anyway, there's a good chance that there are many extraterrestrial beings around you at this time, many whom are connected to the Venetian Council. Governed by Lady Venus and Sanat Chimera, the Venetian Council is a divine board of directors who are responsible for recruiting light workers and leaders on Earth who have the potential to make a huge difference by following the call of their soul. And I have to preface this with it is a choice. Okay? Your mission and stepping into your mission is a choice, and you will be called along the way to continue to make more choices. It is a volunteer system. Okay? All right. Leaders on earth who have the potential to make a huge difference by following the call of their soul. When they come to us, it's an honor and an opportunity to be reminded of the connection that was active before we came into this incarnation. There's no set of working with the Venusians, but they can contact us in our dreams, in meditation. They share information that will support us on our journey. They often send spiritual downloads, thought forms, or understandings. Can we just get back to this for a moment? Trust what comes in and ask for guidance if you need assistance with what comes in because it doesn't always make sense, right? Okay. So there's, like we said, they often send spiritual downloads. Okay, dreams about flying or being in space are other ways in which they come to us. So you're being urged on it to connect on a bright starry night. You can connect and just set the intention to connect with the Venetian Council to help answer the call of my soul. And we talked about how this next 3 months is really coming in to undo the dark, right? To allow the alchemy so that we can re-reb with that spider and we can move forward on our mission, right? Okay. But it's never alone. So here's your message. This is the activation. This is a call to action. You're being asked to step up and to create the changes you want to see in the world. You have a reason for being here, and you have the potential to inspire, support, and heal your corner of the world. Don't let this information scare you, overwhelm you. You're being prepared energetically to step into this role. The ideas you've been having recently are divine downloads, but you aren't being called to make dramatic changes in your life, simply to move forward step by step. The Venetian Galactic Council will reveal more information to support you. Be aware of the downloads of information and spiritual signs for their confirmation that you are on the right path. So, step by step, follow your intuition, trust your instincts, know that you're not alone. Remember that we're collaborating and we're integrating. So we're collaborating with so many things, right? So many tools. And we're integrating this information to stay and traverse on our path to our true abundance, which is really when we can break free from the traumas of the past. So I want you to remember and look at the lyrics. I'm going to share the lyrics on this page. Check out the lyrics of the song, My Fight Song. And when we're saying fight, what's interesting, and this is what I was told to share with you, we're not engaging in like warlike activity. We're not engaging in that judgment. We're fighting for our grace. We're fighting for our grace, which is ours. And you know what? It's It's no longer okay for other energies to let us think that we don't have that so that they can stay. These energies are old, old, old. Bye bye. Let's go. We got this. Shine your light. Follow the steps. I hope this oracle helped get that citrine grid going. Okay. It can be helpful and can help with the energies that are around you. All right. Because like we saw with that cheetah, they're fat. We're moving quickly, but there are energies trying to pull us back. All right, this feels really complete. I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to get closer on that time. But many of you just put me on a walk, put me on when you're in the car. Let me know what hits. Let me know what resonates. We're a community that's come together to support each other. And so, what makes a difference for you makes a difference for all of us. Okay. So, we'll see you soon. We'll see you really soon. All right. Thank you for being here. And as always, I feel blessed to share these messages. Okay.